Good morning, Fambam. It is so good to come on here today and talk with you guys. Today is more of a sit-down video, as you guys can tell, and got my coffee. Hope you have your coffee because coffee is life. I also have Wheatley here next to me, so if you hear some sounds, it's him playing with his toys, just so you know. On my days off, side note, on my days off, he can't leave my side, so he's with me everywhere I go, which is fine. I do not care at all, but sometimes when I'm recording and stuff, it makes it a little difficult. That is a-okay. Preparing me for kids for that one day thing, you know? Anyways, I have my phone here today because I'm doing a travel nurse Q&A. I thought this would be really cool to film, where I just kind of sit down and talk to you guys and answer some questions that you guys have given me via Instagram. Yeah, I just think it'd be a lot of fun. I've been a travel nurse now for going on 6 months, so not a whole lot of time, but I definitely feel like I know what I'm doing, for the most part. Now, of course, there are things here and there and every now and then that kind of like, what? Especially like the corona crap. Was not expecting that. So that's made this current assignment a little tricky because they're trying to figure out what they want to do with me. That sounds horrible, but it's life, you know? But as a travel nurse, I'm very flexible. You have something you have to learn to be is flexible. And yeah, I definitely would say I'm more flexible than I used to be. So how exciting. Anyways, so I have my phone here. And I'm going to go through some of these questions that I got. Yeah, first I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. You take a drink of your coffee. And let's get started. First things first, and I get this a lot, especially when I like start a new job or like a new assignment. Okay, so the way it's like the terminology, so assignment is like where I'm at right now. So like the 3 weeks or the 3 months that I'm like the hospital I'm currently at, that's my quote assignment. And then my job is like a nurse. Sometimes I interchange those, so just so you know, when I say like at my current job, well, my job's the same, but what I mean is like my current assignment, just so you know. Anyways, so I get, like I said, I get this question a lot, especially when I start my assignments, because people are just curious, like, where are you coming from? So what agency do I work for? I work for an agency called bravest Medical. They do all healthcare staffing, like across the board for the whole US. I really like them. They have a lot of like Midwest, yeah, no, that's right. Midwestern and like Southern, God, what's it called? Good Lord. Don't you hate that whenever like a word comes to you and then it's gone in a split second? It was important for me to find an agency that I agreed with the values, that's the word. Like the values and stuff like that. I just felt like that was important. So that's just, that's why I chose bravest Medical. I also really, I've stuck with them, and I really haven't looked at other agencies because I haven't had any issues with them. The recruiters, so like how that works is or at bravest Medical, how it works is like I pick a state. So let's say like Indiana is where I started. So I had this guy named Ethan. He was my recruiter, and he helped me pick out a job. And told me the ins and outs. So recruiters, like, they keep in contact with the hospitals, and they like tell them, hey, we have this person that we want to like submit for a job and blah blah blah, and like they then they come back to me and be like, hey, this would be a great hospital for you to work at, or I probably wouldn't, we don't have a lot of good reviews from that place, whatever. So then like Ethan is assigned a certain amount of states, and then in North Carolina, where I am now, I have a recruiter named Chelsea, and she's great. And so she helped me find this job, and like I want to extend here, so she's helping me with that and stuff like that. So like your recruiter, like they help you with like the ins and outs of the job. So they kind of talk with like they help you with like the contract and all of that, if that makes sense. Anyways, so that's kind of like how it works. But I just really liked Arias, back to like the why thing, because everyone is just so nice, and I really haven't had any issues with like being able to find a job. And the staff, like my recruiters and stuff, they've been very open and honest with me, and I'm very, like that a lot too. Like I'm very open and honest with my patients and with people like that. And so for me, like it meant a lot that they're honest, like they don't hide anything. They're like, I don't think this would be a good job for you. Okay, great, I want to take it then. So like I said, I just feel like that was just really great. Yeah, so that's kind of why, but I also kind of started explaining the process. So what is the process is my next question, because I feel like that's important to know, the process of travel nursing. So whenever you decide, hey, I want to be a travel nurse, and you reach out to an agency, you get paired with like a recruiter for that state, whatever state you want to go to. But you also have to make sure you have like your licenses for that state. You have to make sure all your immunizations are up to date, all your CPR stuff, all of that good stuff. You have to make sure that's up to date, and you have all of that stuff ready to give to your recruiter, because hospitals like to make sure that you are up to date. Makes sense, because they make sure all their other employees are up to date. So you get your job, and then you have a lot of paperwork you have to do. And like whenever you first start with an agency, and I feel like this is kind of like a duh too, any job really, you have to get like a drug screen and blood work, and just to make sure everything is up to date, that you're negative on drugs and all of that stuff. And then you kind of get the details of your first day, and then you go, and usually you get a week of like orientation. Usually that week consists of like any tours of the hospital that you might have, or if they want you to sit on like orientation stuff or whatever. Usually also in your first week you have like your first day with, or your one day with another nurse to kind of get the feel for the floor. Yeah, you only get one day, or most places only give you one day to kind of orient yourself, but a lot of times people are very nice and you can like ask questions, so it's really not the end of the world. If you need more than one day, you can ask for more than one day. I'm sure like different specialties that's different, but I work like med-surg tele type of things, so I get one day because I'm just like a med-surgy type of nurse. I don't do like ICU. I'm sure ICU probably get like a full week or something, but I don't know because I don't do ICU, so sorry, I can't answer that question. But yeah, so then you get your job, you do your assignment. Usually like the manager of the floor will reach out and be like, hey, when do you want to work or whatever, and you just say, oh, I want to work these days, or I've been very flexible. I say, where do you have holes? Just plug me in your holes, because ultimately that's what I'm here to do. Like travel wise, I'm here to help staff and fill those holes and those needs. That's the whole reason I've gotten hired. So that's kind of my thought process on that, and that's kind of what I like my mentality. So yeah, so then you work for 3 months, and then you pack up your stuff and you move to another place. You could extend, like I'm going to extend here in North Carolina for hopefully a month, just because of everything going on. I don't know like if it's safe to move, and so we are looking to extend just for safety. And the facility I'm working at is great. I like it a lot too. But yeah, anyway, so that's it. So we do move every 3 months, and I will say sometimes it's very difficult, because like going hospital to hospital, you have all that anxiety of like, are people gonna like me? Am I gonna like people I work with? Like my mindset is also too, well, it's only 3 months. You can do anything for 3 months, really. So if you were to absolutely hate it, you can, just make it work. But like with the agency I work for, they're like, hey, if you hate it, let me know, and like we'll do something, like we'll try to help you with it. I really haven't found a place where I've hated it, so that's good, I guess. But yeah, so that is kind of scary. You go hospital to hospital, you have to get like a new badge everywhere you go, and when you leave, you have to like return your badge and any keys you might have and all of that good stuff. So like that kind of stuff, but it kind of is the same thing. So you kind of learn and like what you're doing by the end of it, if that makes sense. Anyways, And then we do move every 3 months. So we have a U-Haul we usually get, but we're looking at getting a trailer. But we usually get a U-Haul and we pack it up, and we put all of our stuff in there. We bring with us what we think are essentials. So most places you go, you can take housing that that your agency offers, which a lot of people do that, and that's fine, but then you don't get housing stipends, and you only get your paycheck. Or you can like find your own place and like make it work, and then you get your stipends. And I will get into stipends here in a second. Okay, anyways, we pack up our U-Haul and we bring with us sheets for our bed, and blankets and pillows and stuff like that. And then we have dishes, like our essential dishes, or I feel are essential because I'm the one who usually cooks and stuff. All of David's streaming stuff comes with us, and his computer stuff and all of that. Wheatley and his stuff, and then our clothes, bathroom stuff. That's pretty much it. I do try to like plan like food wise, like I buy everything new every 3 months, but usually we can like get through everything, and so then we're not traveling with a lot of food, and then I just rebuy. Yes, it's kind of expensive that way, but I mean you have to restock anyways, probably about every 3 months, so it works out for us. And then like bathroom stuff, it's the same way. I try to like use up a product where I don't have a lot of a product, and then I just rebuy it. Like I buy it again when we get wherever. I just like restock, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's what we do. And yeah, we drive our U-Haul with us, and then when we get to wherever we're going, we unload it, and then we return the U-Haul, and then we don't have a trailer to worry about. So that is kind of nice. But like I said, I think we're looking at getting a trailer because it just would be cheaper for us in the long run because we want to do this for a long time. But anyways, that's besides the point. Okay, let's see. I think I've covered that. I will say I started working out just so I can lift my tubs of stuff because clothes are very heavy and you don't realize how heavy they are. Is that bad or what? Anyways, okay, so next is the question, can you break down the pay? This is where like a lot of people, I don't know. I mean, people know travel nurses make a lot of money. We do, but you also have to use it wisely, if that makes any sense. So probably my favorite thing about travel nursing pay is I get paid every week. That's fabulous. Whereas like jobs before is every 2 weeks, so I'd have to go a whole week of like, okay, gotta make sure like I have enough funds or whatever. Well, it's like now every Friday I'm like, okay, I get paid every week. Like I mean I do worry about funds and making sure like everything's okay, but just knowing that you get it every week is, I don't know, it's just nice. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but that's like something for me, that's what my company does. I don't know if every place is different or but that's what my agency does, is they pay us every week. And then how I get paid is I get paid one paycheck, but it's divided up into 2 parts. So if like I were to look at my pay stub, I could see this and this. So I have my hourly rate that gets taxed just like any other job. So you pay, or you like have your rate, and then that gets taxed and you get paid that taxed amount, plus you get your stipends, and that's probably why you get paid every week, is for the stipend. So the hospital, I guess, pays like my agency the cost of living or whatever, like it's all agreed upon in my contract, plus my rate of pay, and then I get all like a lump sum of money. So yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. What I do to conserve as much money as possible, because I want kids and I'm in school to get my MP and I just have these big dreams and aspirations, is I make my rent for the apartment that we have be one paycheck. So one of my 4 paychecks is rent. So then I have 3 other paychecks I can put in savings or whatever. Now groceries sometimes I splurge a little bit, or we do eat out a lot, or order in, I guess now. But that's because we're trying to try the local places, and we're trying to, like, I don't know, we want to explore. That's the whole point of doing this. So, but anyways, that's besides the point. But yeah, so that's kind of how pay works. I hope that makes sense. And the stipends are great. Obviously, everywhere you go, it's different. And even like different hospitals have different like rates that they pay you. Some states, like southern states, they pay a little bit less, where I feel like it's like the West Coast, they pay a lot, but the cost of living is a lot there. So you just have to like look at that. We have really enjoyed where we are and where we have been. It's been very nice. We've learned a lot about like money and like making sure we're managing it well and stuff like that, so that's good. Yeah, I think that makes sense to the pay. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I do get insurance. That's a weird like thing, but my agency does provide me insurance, and that does come out of my pay every week, which I feel that's normal. Like, I don't feel like that's weird. So yeah. Why did I choose travel nursing? I really like this question. I wanted to travel. I want to be a medical missionary in the future, like way in the future. And I just felt like traveling would help me become more flexible. It would help me learn how to use resources and ask for help in ways I don't know, I just wasn't able to do before. Whenever you're a travel nurse, you can't be scared to ask questions, and you can't be scared to ask for help. I mean, most of the days, like, I know what I'm doing, and, you know, I can do my job. But there are days where it's like, hey, this is something I've not had to come in contact with. Can you help me figure this out? Or what's your policy on this? Or how do I go about doing this? Or whatever. Because sometimes things do pop up and you're like, oh crap, like no one told me about this. So like you do have to ask. Sometimes you do have to ask questions, which is fine. Like, questions are great. They help you grow and they help you learn, so that's good. But yeah, so I chose it more for the travel aspect. The money is great, don't get me wrong, but that's not really why I chose it. I love to travel, and I like to go outside and explore, and like I want to see the world. And so for me to get paid to do that, that was like a win for me. And then my husband, he does travel with me, and I almost like made that like I was like, you have to travel with me, because I just felt like it would be really odd for me to travel by myself when we're married and we don't have kids or anything. So I do make him travel with me. Honestly, it's probably one of the best things I've ever done for my career, and for my myself. Like, I've grown a lot as a person. I realize a lot of things I need and don't need, and I've really made it important for me to like prioritize certain people or relationships. It's been fun with me and my husband, because like we are by ourselves more so, and so we have to really like lean on each other, and just getting to like grow together by ourselves has been a lot of fun, and stuff like that. So like I said, for me it's been a lot of positives, but I also try to look at all the positives and try not to look at the negatives. That's just, I'm a very positive person, and so it's, I don't know, I try not to be negative, because I just feel like then I get depressed, and who likes to be depressed, you know? What is the bravest thing you've ever done? God, that's such a crazy question. I'm going to say personally, like for all of this, just choosing to do this, because I had to, like my husband and I, we had a house and we had a life that we were creating back at home where we lived in Indiana, and we sold our house, or we like got, like we left, we were in like a contract to buy it, and we decided we didn't want it, so we let the people who owned it sell it. Became homeless for like 7 months, and lived with my husband's grandmother, which honestly probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. It taught me a lot about love and humility. It just, I don't know, I learned a lot about myself in that season, which I needed. I had to quit a job that I had endless possibilities with, and that was really hard. I had to leave a team of people that I worked pretty well with and that I knew well. So like that was, for me personally, just choosing to do travel nursing was probably a really brave thing for me. But in like, good Lord, in like the nursing realm, like at work, I would say honestly, like standing up to doctors is probably one of the bravest things. Honestly, just saying something to doctors like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like that can be very challenging sometimes, especially going to another facility and you don't know these doctors. You have to like, oh man, sometimes it's really rough. But I mean, your patients come first, you know, they're your priority. Patient safety and just making sure that they're well taken care of. Like it's important, you know. I think those are my questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's, like I said, it was more of a sit down, and I hope it's not too long. It might be a little bit longer, but I just felt like it was kind of important now that I've been doing this for about 6 months, like just to break it down. And like, I don't know, I love it. Like I want people to experience what I've gotten to experience because it's just so great. And so yeah, I just want to put my positive aspects on travel nursing out there. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, or give it a like, or oh my gosh, why do I suck at this? Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. That way you guys never miss a video when I upload. I too will link the things I can below, just that way you guys kind of know, like have resources and stuff if you guys want to try travel nursing. Also, follow me on Instagram at SmileySarah17. Just so that we can connect, and that way you guys can also see more of like day-to-day things, because I feel like it's important. Sometimes I do stuff there that might not be put on YouTube, so yeah. Also too, adventures are more so on Instagram and stuff like that. That sounds horrible. Oh well, anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to stop rambling and let you guys go about your day. Have a great day. Hope it's beautiful where you are. It's beautiful today for us, and I love it. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Fambam!